And welcome, wrestling fans, to International Wrestling at its best. Bob Dawson ringside with Gino Brito, and in the ring, the man who was AWA champion for so many years, Nick Bockwinkel. Gino, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Bob. Glad to be here. I think we should see some good action there with Nick Bockwinkel. Also, King Tonga will be there. And Bob De La Sera and a few others. Frenchie Martin and Mad Dog LaFave as a team.
We have a good half-hour wrestling for you, and Nick Bockwinkel is the champion of champions, a legend in his own time. Watch this man work. He has got so much experience. He's amazing.
The match has started. There's really a contrast there. An up-and-coming beginner against a cagey veteran like Bockwinkel,
who is in incredible shape and has been for his entire career.
Right.
As you say, in the ring here, we have the experience that Bockwinkel has. The young fellow has all the desire he'll ever want, but lacking in experience, of course.
See, Bockwinkel just sidesteps him.
That's right. Where are you running to, he
sees him running helplessly there and sizes him up good. Takes him down.
I would guess, Gino, there's not too many wrestlers in this world that Nick Bockwinkel hasn't been in the ring with.
No, if you're talking about top names in professional wrestling, he's wrestled them all because he's had to, being champion for 8.5 years, he's had so many challengers, and there's a guy that probably put up his belt at least 20 times a year. So you multiply that by 8, and you have at least over 150 challengers.
And he's seen the best. Nick Bockwinkel using the knee.
Giving a wrestling lesson to Reggie Raponi. Using a little bit of rough stuff. I mean, I have nothing against a knee sometimes, as long as it's not overdone, sometimes just to stop your opponent in his tracks. And then go back to a wrestling hold. That's exactly what Nick Bockwinkel does.
Later on in this program, we're going to show you a fellow who doesn't know what it's like to lose. King Tonga has never lost a fight. We'll just show you excerpts of some of his shenanigans.
I was talking to wrestling promoters across Canada, across the eastern United States, and they have had more mail on King Tonga. People are asking, where did he come from? Because he's such an exceptional athlete, and he can do it all. I mean, you're talking about karate, judo, wrestling. He can do it all. And I'm sure that fans all across this country, Canada, and the United States will see him soon in the arenas.
Nick Bockwinkel doing a job on his young opponent, doing what he has to do. I don't really think there's much doubt about who's going to win this particular match. No. But, you know, you never can tell. We've all seen in every sport that incredible match where the underdog, for some reason, has won. It can happen as quickly as that.
Punches, but I know it ain't gonna last that long. See, Bockwinkel has it all figured out. The moment he stepped into that ring, he knew exactly what to do to Raponi. Soften him up a little bit, and pretty soon he'll go for the kill.
Raponi will know that he's been in a fight when he goes home tonight.
Body slam, down he goes. Picks him up again. Gives him another body slam. 2 in a row.
In case you were wondering whether Bockwinkel had any strength left.
Threaded pile driver. That's curtain. Oh, man, that's curtain.
I think that's all she wrote there. Oh, Bockwinkel.
Picked him up. I'm surprised, though. Bockwinkel will do a move like that.
Maybe he's getting meaner as he gets older.
Well, probably figures I'll show this punk.
1, 2, and that's all there is. Nick Bockwinkel. Not the first time he's had his hand up in the air as the winner of a particular match.
About Nick Bockwinkel.
We have standing by for you King Tonga after this.
Scarred, cauliflower ears, broken noses, ruptured diaphragms,
chromium bone fractures, collarbones, patella bones. But Joe Leduc, the new Joe Leduc, you have about as many scars, as many stitches on your body as any other wrestler I know.
Well, you know, a body can take only so much, but a man is the same. A man can only take so much. Everybody say the new Joe Leduc. It's not the new Joe Leduc. For God's sake, it's the same Joe Leduc that was here 7 years ago. Only 7 years more experience and 7 years of more madness. Madness, if you call it. Mr. Robinson, Mr. Hayes, the ghoul, the dog, whatever you want to call them. This is Joe Leduc that was here before. Joe Leduc from Montreal, Canada. Joe Leduc, the Canadian citizen. And Joe Leduc that can hit with the right. And when Joe Leduc hit with the right, it goes down. And that's what counts. Nothing else. You want to talk about scars, you want to talk about stitches, it's good enough. I've got enough. I've got a lot of scars, but I've got a lot of memories. And Montreal is my city. Quebec is my province. Canada is my country. I belong here. It's mine. It belongs to me.
That's Joe Leduc. I've seen him hit with the right, and when he hits with the right, there's very little left. The new Joe Leduc.
Au niveau du Québec en particulier.
Eh bien, on sait, et surtout Dino Bravo, ennemi juré de Joe Leduc et vice-versa, car les deux hommes ne s'aiment pas. J'irais même à dire qu'ils saillissent.
Et là, Leduc, il vient de voir Bravo résister à son attaque. Collier arrière, servi par l'athlète de Godbout. Je ne sais trop, Gino, ce que son frère Paul pense du lutteur, Joe Leduc. Pas de son frère. Je n'ai jamais demandé, Paul Leduc. J'ai vu Paul Leduc une fois, il avait la tête basse. Il refuse d'assister à aucun gala de lutte. Et puis maintenant, comme on le sait, il reste dans la ville de Québec. Et pour lui, la lutte, c'est quelque chose du passé. Oui, Paul Leduc, sympathique, maintenant en affaires. Il a dû renoncer à sa carrière en raison de problèmes de cœur. Et qui aujourd'hui doit constater, comme bien d'autres, tout un changement au niveau de son frère. Malheureusement, Joe Leduc qui croit que des fois, pour arriver, on dit tout le temps l'argent, mais je crois que c'était plutôt ici la jalousie de Joe Leduc envers Dino Bravo et King Tonga qui a causé Joe Leduc de faire ce qu'il fait là. Oui, tout cela remonte à un combat où Leduc a prétendu avoir été laissé pour compte par Dino Bravo contre les Road Warriors. Et depuis lors, compte tenu de l'association King Tonga Dino Bravo, Leduc, n'en voyant plus clair, n'a jamais pardonné à Bravo. Et il lui a fait sentir de toutes sortes de manières, comme les images que vous avez présentement à Lutte Vidéo Internationale. J'en suis convaincu que c'est ça, André. Maintenant que veux-tu, et Tarzan Tyler a vu l'opportunité d'approcher Joe Leduc, lui promettre la lune et tout. Et maintenant, on le sait que Tarzan Tyler, c'est le gérant de Joe Leduc. Bravo qui revient dans l'arène. Leduc, projection. Bravo passe derrière, tente le petit paquet, mais Leduc frappe des deux mains à la tête de Dino Bravo. Descente maintenant du poing, directement à la mâchoire, tentative de tomber, et encore une fois, Bravo se sort de l'impasse. Il est résistant, ce Bravo, Gino. Oui, très dur à son corps. Il n'y a pas le choix. Quand tu sais qu'on a un gars comme Joe Leduc, tu sais qu'il faut que tu sois capable de le prendre aussi bien que le donner. Parce que Joe Leduc, c'est un homme qui est de 300 livres, qui frappe fort, qui est très dur lui aussi. Oui, qui frappe telle une massue. Et Bravo vient de le sentir. Là, Leduc, il le replace. Et bang! Bravo en a tourné de la tête et a du mal même à se maintenir sur ses pieds. Leduc, il maintient son rythme infernal. Retient Dino Bravo dans le coin pendant que désespérément des bois tentent de les faire lâcher prise. Et là, des bois qui voient Leduc tenter de frapper Bravo, qui vient de résister. Il frappe à la tête une deuxième fois. Et là, Bravo qui tente de récupérer, de retrouver ses moyens pendant que le Duc... Oh, quelle droite servie à l'abdomen. Et une gauche, uppercut. Et voilà, on frappe. Là, le Duc, quelle droite de Bravo. Et le Duc, près de 300 livres qui viennent de s'écraser au tablier de l'arène. Et voilà Bravo qui est parti. Projection de le Duc, soulevé et rabattu lourdement au tapis. Bravo, descente de la cuisse contre le Duc qui a été sonné là-dessus. Encore une fois de la part de Bravo. Et Bravo là veut faire payer la facture. Bravo qui soulève le Duc. Oh, 300 livres. Le Duc écrasé dans les câbles. Tyler qui regarde la scène. Tyler. Regardez Tyler, regardez ses mains. Il vient de glisser un objet à le Duc.
Un objet, je crois, c'est une chaîne.
Bravo a vu, Bravo a vu. Mord la main de Tarzan Tyler. Il mord la main de Tarzan Tyler, s'empare de l'objet. Le Duc, bang, directement au front. Et là, Bravo est disqualifié vraisemblablement. Et c'est Tyler qui a tout parti. Regarde Gino, Bravo va maintenant se payer la traite.
Oui, Joe le Duc, on peut voir le sang commence à couler du front de Joe le Duc.
Et là, Tyler, qui assiste à la scène, c'est lui qui a tout parti. Ben oui, Tyler, si t'es pas mêlé de tes affaires, puis ton homme est en train de se faire passer. Et Bravo sait bien qu'il est disqualifié, mais pour le public, c'est une victoire morale de Bravo. Bien que le vainqueur officiel soit Joe le Duc. Et Tyler est celui qui a causé l'obstruction. Bravo maintenant qui s'approche de Tyler, qui est moins brave maintenant que Bravo est devant lui. Et Tyler qui trouve... Oh là, le Duc qui vient de se faire administrer toute une droite par Dino Bravo. Bravo qui remonte dans l'arène. Des voix qui tentent de l'en empêcher. Mais Bravo a l'intention de poursuivre son rythme. Et là, le Duc est coupé à la figure. Reçoit la bottine de Bravo.
J'ai vu la coupure dans le front, au moins 2,5 pouces de long.
Oh, là, Bravo vient de sonner le Duc. Et comment? Lutte vidéo internationale. Tarzan Tyler qui tente de venir en aide à Joe le Duc. Pendant que Bravo continue. Et là, le Duc qui encore une fois subit l'attaque foudroyante de Dino Bravo. Le Duc complètement sonné. Complètement.
Destroyer arguing with the referee telling him he was choking Bolton. The Destroyer disagreeing. You can see the Destroyer switching around, changing sides. Basically, if he is choking, he wants to do it where the referee can't see it. Destroyer, a man of many, many years wrestling experience. You can see the Destroyer with the shin laid across the throat of Bolton. Referee telling him to break it, and the Destroyer using all those years of experience to distract the referee and be able to do what he wants to do. There's a punch to the side of the head away from the referee. The referee really couldn't tell if it was the open hand or the punch. Picks Bolton up and body slams him very heavily. There he goes for the... Well, George, we've seen him do this many times. Lays the leg on that bottom rope, down across the knee, weakens the legs, and now he's going to go for that figure four. Whoa, snaps the leg back. Now we over top it. 4 minutes remaining. There's the figure four, and I think it's ball game over for Mr. Bolton, George. Ring the bell. Rick Bolton.